Let me check the image. No, I think it's better with the lights. Can you see the slides? Okay, let's start. So, thank you for coming. I think there's a lot of people here that I didn't expect so many. Show of hands, are you interested in actually streaming something live? Okay, pretty good. So, I just thought about this talk, just quick disclaimer, a couple hours ago. I have been live streaming, and I'm not an expert, but I learned a few things, and I learned different setups that are easy, cheap, etc. And I hope I can share this and maybe help you guys stream. It's actually really easy, and I think there's some benefits for our meetups, our events, etc. So, but a little before we start with that, a bit about me. I'm coding since year 2000, more or less, professionally since I was 18, so that's about 10 years now. Consultant, PHP architect at Strategery. Right now I'm working, let's say, about 80–90% of my time at Cube. And I'm a Ascend certified engineer. I'm again a certified developer plus. Organizer of PHP Limburg meetup in Belgium, which we started live streaming just not long ago. And I also regularly contribute to open source. I moved around quite a bit. I was born in the Belgian Congo. My parents were doctors there, and that's me with some friends. From there, we went to Argentina when I was about 5. And I was raised until I was 18, studied there. When I was 18, I took a trip around Southern Europe, then with an NGO that had a ship, and we went to places that needed help, like refugees in Croatia, Albania, etc., Malta. And I became a seaman. I was part of the fire brigade team. I also steered the ship for a while. And so this was before meeting my wife in Germany. And 2 years later, we married, and I moved to Belgium. So, streaming equipment. This is going to be kind of more hands-on talk. I'm actually live streaming right now, and I'm going to try to show you how the setup is. I'm going to try to juggle with the screens a bit. I hope all of that works. And but you need some equipment, right? And if you're on a budget, all you need really is a laptop with Open Broadcaster software or a similar software. Basically what this does is allows you to get different video sources and different audio sources, mix them up together, and it has one of the features is you can stream directly into YouTube Live, and you just put the YouTube key that they give you there and you're done. Of course, you need an internet connection with decent upload bandwidth. As you probably know, upload bandwidths are not the same as downloads most of the time, but as long as you have 3 megabytes per second or more, you should be good. It also depends on what quality you want to stream. 3 megabytes per second is kind of what you need if you want to stream 720p or higher. You need a webcam, and most laptops come with one. That's what I'm using right now. A projector or a second screen. There might be some software that allows you to kind of simulate a screen if you are not going to really do what I'm doing of projecting this here. But the goal is to make the operating system think that there's a second screen, right? So if there's some software for that, then great. And the reason you need that second screen is that you can show in that screen only what you want your viewers to see, right? And so the viewers right now are seeing this image, and embedded on top of that, on the left corner, right now, they start seeing my camera feed, okay? You're not gonna see it there, but they will. If you saw my tweet, you might be able to, with your phone, follow the stream as well. It's gonna
crash the Wi-Fi.
Huh?
Let's crash the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, we can take a couple moments to do that, but please, like afterwards, close it down just to make sure. Okay. So, one last thing. Where are you going to stream it to? YouTube has, as of not long ago, a YouTube Live service that you can use to stream for free, absolutely free. As you stream, they record, and there's also a couple other features they added on top. It's really cool. I think it's a game changer, really, because before that there was only Ustream or a couple other services, and they were mostly paid, and if you didn't pay, there were limitations like you couldn't stream HD or so. YouTube allows you to stream until 1080p, so it's pretty cool, all free. And the video stays in YouTube, which you don't even have to worry about it. So this is kind of a diagram of what I'm doing, a little bit of what I'm doing right now. See, it's really simple. Just the features of a laptop, even the microphone, and directly to YouTube streaming. Then if you have some Samsung devices, I'm not sure about iOS, but the camera, at least in my Samsung phone, has a feature that allows me to live stream from my phone's camera. So that plus a tripod on a table like this, perfect, you know. Hopefully we have some coffee, and let's see the stream if we can. Have you checked it out?
It works. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it works? Awesome. I'm gonna mirror the screen and maybe we can see it here too. Here I'm on the control room and I'm going to show you how to set this up. Let's open this up. Yeah, that's it. Okay, the guys in the stream are not going to see this. So let's try to show you. Let's try to show how this works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything on the second screen. So I'm just going to work there, and that should do the trick. Okay. Now the thing about Open Broadcaster software is that it's an open source thing and has some quirks, like and also Mac has some quirks, and now the screen is not full. Not really sure why that is. Let me see if I can end the slideshow and start it again.
It's already back up.
That's better. Oh, yeah, it was back up.
Yeah, if you switch between windows,
there's some quirks. Yeah, there's some quirks. All right. Great. Let's put the browser there. Let's close this down. Okay. So what you do here is you go to your YouTube account. You go to your video manager. You usually have to go to channels. That's how I do it, right? I go to my channel here. And there you see the video manager right there. And here you have a live streaming tab. You can directly start streaming if you configured OBS. You just get the key down here, stream key. You copy that, you paste it in OBS. I'm not gonna keep it up there for long. And then that's it. And as long as OBS knows you set it up properly to capture the right screens and everything, then it will work. You can also schedule an event, and here you add a new live event, and there you can set things like the quality, 1080p, 720p. My recommendation is add the lowest quality that you know you can stream constantly, right? So right now I chose for 480p. I didn't know what the internet connection was going to be. I think that's what makes it work right now. If I had chosen 720p, it might be hitting the limits, and if you are not able to throughput that amount, then there's going to be a lot of buffering on the viewer side. Okay. So once you're streaming, actually the process is, in the beginning you have to start the encoder. You start the streaming on OBS, but the stream is not live on YouTube yet, right? That takes you to the preview step. On the preview, you have a similar thing as this, where you see the stream status and some suggestions and advice. This is not optimal because I am outputting 720p over the internet, and YouTube expects 480p. It has to like downscale it or something, but it's still okay. It's just like a little warning. Usually this means, you know, you're giving them more than they need. That's it. But if it's the other way around, you'll see here a big red thing and explanations of why or something is going wrong or what you need to improve. Once the preview is working and you're satisfied, you just click on a button that here, when it's in the preview stream tab, it's blue. It says go live or something like that, and then you're live. I think the stream now feature is okay if you're like on a concert and you pull out your phone and you start streaming, but I usually use events because then you can get the link to what the stream will be. You can share it on Twitter, right? Okay, so OBS, I think this is also going to be important to show. Let's see if this works, showing OBS on while OBS is streaming. I'm gonna just show myself right now. Okay. So on OBS you have scenes. Anyone used OBS before? Okay. In the scenes you can set up different sources and mix them up and arrange them, and then you have that ready for you to switch between as you are streaming live. So I can say I can create a scene that's the speaker only, that's just the webcam. To add the source, you just click here, and there's a lot of options. And I can switch easily, right? So this would be slides. This would be the speaker on the bottom left with the slides on the background. This is only the slides, etc. Okay. And then as far as the sources go, you'll have to handle this. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to do that. Here you can add a webcam source. It's one of the options, and here you can choose which camera you're using and choose the streaming size. If your camera supports more, you can change that.
Can you get a part of the picture?
Yes, you can do it. I might have time to show something.
Because I stream too and I use XSplit, but one of the limitations when I test OBS is you can cut the pictures, and it's not easy to compose a scene with multiple devices.
Yeah, it's not the best software. I think XSplit seems better, but because I have a Mac, I cannot run it. So OBS works in, as far as I know, Mac and Windows, and probably Linux too. Yes. So, but it does allow quite a few things, and I can maybe, if I have some time, show you. Then display capture is another source. It just captures our display, and this is why you need another screen so that this kind of thing doesn't happen, right? In display capture, you just choose which screen you're going to show. Here you can even crop that to a window if you want, or manually set the clipping region. On the mixer side, this is for audio. You could have multiple audio sources, so you could play background noise while you talk, or that kind of thing if you're podcasting or whatever. And right now I configured this to just pull from the built-in microphone of my Mac. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, this is really the basics, right, of what you need. Then we'll see a bit more about an advanced setup, and it is what I'm using in my meetups. Okay. Advanced between quotes, because you can really get as advanced as you want, and video producers would think this is really basic, right? What I would recommend if you have a budget and justified budget, let's say, would be 2 dynamic microphones. I use a Shure microphone, not exactly the Beta, but if you have a budget, the Beta I think is one of the best dynamic microphones. What a dynamic microphone is the ones that you normally see when people sing at concerts or talk at conferences, right? It's that thing. It captures the voice and the sound that goes into it directly. It doesn't capture the sound behind it, so it's good to avoid feedback loops. And so if you have speakers, and they're also really cheap. You can get some for like 30 euros, and they're still really, really good, especially if you're just streaming a meetup. Even for 30 euros, if you invest in that, you're going to have a microphone that is so much better than your laptops. There's no way you can compare that. I mean, if you ever heard the difference, you would never go back. Sometimes you can hear the difference if you hear a podcast and the guy that's podcasting has a good microphone and the other person is on Skype. You can hear that, right? Okay, so that's that. So two dynamic microphones, or one dynamic microphone and one condenser microphone. And what I think is interesting about this setup is that you give the speaker the dynamic microphone, he holds it, and you put a condenser microphone like this Yeti blue microphone, I forgot the glue there, on the table, like on the middle, right? And so if it's a dynamic thing, if there's questions like what you asked, the dynamic microphone is ideal for that. It captures sound all over, like it would capture that really well on the source. And so people can just ask questions normally without having like to pass a microphone around. So that's interesting for the condenser microphones. If the room acoustics are not great, well, this thing, if you put a monitor headset on, you hear absolutely everything. You hear people breathing and everything. So it's hard to manage, but if you find a way to do that, then it's pretty interesting. You could also use a lavalier condenser microphone, which are the ones that you clip on to the clothes, and that's what I like. I use that as a backup. Okay, so you could have even a simple setup like this, and then separately one of these microphones, you give it to the speaker, you ask him to plug it into his phone, and use the phone's voice recording app to just record his entire talk. And the quality there is great. You're not going to be able to live stream that particular audio, unless you find a way to stream it into the OBS or something. But you're gonna, at the end of the day, have great audio, and you could splice, like mix that into the video afterwards, right? And then you have just webcam video plus awesome audio, which is also important. I use an audio mixer. If you have a dynamic microphone that is not USB, most of them are not, you're just gonna need something like that. Or an external audio card is also good enough that allows you to plug that in and then send the sound through USB to the computer. Okay, and all of these microphone things are going to show up in that mixer tab in OBS. Whenever you just connect the microphone, you'll see it there. You can configure the levels, etc. If you have budget, I would buy a high-end webcam. This is only 720p, and the MacBook Pro I have. The better the webcam, the better features it has, especially for low light conditions, etc. But you could also have a video capture device connected to a real video camera. The thing is, most video cameras are not going to allow you to stream directly into the computer, the video, so you need a video capture device. For that, there's different options. I use av.io, and it's 400 euros right now. You might be able to get cheaper devices than that. All that you need to make sure is that whatever video recording device you have, the output of that should be able to go into the video capture device, and then from there you should be able to connect to the computer as well, right? So pretty standard. Here's a little diagram. Sorry, and a video splitter is also useful, and I'm going to show you why in the diagram. Okay, so we could have the condenser microphone in the middle of the table. We could have a mixer board to mix the audio of both microphones. Speaker microphone, that's something the speaker holds or that goes on a stand. The mixer board connects through USB, in my case, to the computer, so I just get an audio input source on OBS, really simple. And for the video of the speaker, you can use a GoPro that goes into a video capture device. You could use just a video camera that goes into a video capture device. And if you don't want to buy a video capture device, you could just use a webcam. And I think that's most of the time enough. Okay? And then for the slides, for being able to show the slides as well, you usually have a different laptop, which is a speaker's laptop. That's connected to a video splitter directly. and one end goes to your video capture device, the other one goes to the projector. Okay, so here I'm streaming and showing the slides from the same laptop, but if I had a different laptop from the speaker that is coming to my meetup, that goes to a video splitter. One of those cables goes into the video capture device, which goes through USB to my computer. Okay, and then the other end of the splitter goes to the projector. And for the speaker, as far as the speaker is concerned, he's just showing slides. I mean, he doesn't care. He doesn't need any extra setup or anything. I chose a HDMI video splitter, and I also bought an HDMI to VGA converter because sometimes I go to a meetup that doesn't have a projector that allows HDMI, right? So you can just plug the beamer to that converter, and the rest of the setup is HDMI, which is my preferred cable. But you can use DVI or whatever you want. Just make sure that if you use DVI, the video splitter supports that, and the video capture device as well. That's all. So, how much time do I have left?
8 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. What did I promise to show you? Effects. Okay, let's see if I can show you that. Okay, so first of all, basic. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I was looking at the wrong mouse. Okay. You can do this kind of thing, right? Once you configure your video sources, you can do that. So that's the basic thing. Some people like to put the slides here, pretty big, then a little slider, a little speaker's image, and then here's some logos and stuff. You should be able to do that. Adding the logos is just going to the sources and adding an image, for example. If you have more than one camera, you could mix them all here. OBS can handle that as long as your computer doesn't burst. If you have another guy that wants to help you with his laptop, you could connect to a different camera on YouTube as well, and then show different points of view, right? And so basically both laptops would have OBS, but each of them would be streaming to a different key.
Okay, so if your speaker is just using the normal YouTube or Google Hangout on there, that he's sharing the slides, you can use that he's streaming to YouTube, and you can use that feed and mix that in here. No, it's not.
No, because in YouTube, when you set up different cameras, those cameras are all that you see on the screen, right? So if the speaker is using OBS on his computer to show the slides, you would only be able to see the slides when that camera is enabled on the YouTube stream. You would only see the slides. I mean, it could work, of course. If you just want to show the slides, then that's what you would see. Then the question is, how do you get audio into that same video, right? I think each camera also has its own audio. I didn't try how that works. YouTube has the concept of the main camera. So maybe YouTube uses the audio from the main camera, which is the one that is set up by default, and then the second camera it just only shows video. You would have to try that because I don't know if that works. But if you want to overlay, then you'd need that kind of video capture thing. You need that video capture device if you want to overlay on the same.
No, but if you say here, you can add sources from another camera stream. So you could include in your mixing in your OBS and the stream that's going on from the speaker's laptop. But then you have.
The thing is, you will have. Yes. If you do that, you're going to have a lot of delay. The stream from that guy is going to take a while to get to YouTube, be processed, and then come here. That's why you need like a real-time setup, like the one I showed in the slide with the splitter. Yeah. So transformations. If you click on filters, so you right-click on the image and you go to filters. They showed up on this window. Okay.
More recursion.
But you get the idea, right? Imagine this is slides, what you see here. Here you can, this is what there is. There's crop. And that's what you wanted, right? you can crop, you can give it a name, and you can disable it, enable it, and say relative to the left, I want to crop this amount.
Crop the main bar at the top.
Good idea. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, it did get faster, and you disable it, you enable it, that kind of thing. It's pretty cool. I mean, for a free software, it does everything you need. You can rotate. I don't know if you need that, but you get the idea, right? I wouldn't use a stretch to screen because that will alter the aspect ratio, at least in my experience. So. And that's really pretty much it. So you have to make sure that the audio is coming in. That's kind of the most complicated part if you really want to capture good audio. But a simple way of going around that is using the lavalier microphone. That will not allow you to stream. But once the crappy microphone from the laptop streamed everything and everyone saw it using the crappy microphone, you can later go to the edit to the video in YouTube, edit it and splice in the audio from the real microphone. And then at least, maybe not for the live stream, but for the rest of your life, you have a video with good audio there. Still a couple minutes?
2 or 3?
Yeah. Okay. So, if you have any questions, we'll do that like afterwards. I'll be outside the area and you can come and ask me. The benefits of this is you put a lot of effort into planning a meetup. Speakers put a lot of effort into speaking and creating the presentations. If you capture that and you put a YouTube video, you're generating content that stays there. And speakers are going to want to speak in your meetup and they're going to be grateful for what you're doing. I think even in the 2-3 times we started doing this, people are already saying thanks. And just to give some numbers, at least from something I didn't expect, last meetup in Antwerp we streamed, there were about 15 to 20 people at the meetup, and up to 19 people were watching the streams online. So we duplicated the amount of people who were watching our meetup. So I really recommend doing that. Also, if you're within 1 hour drive of Hasselt, just feel free to ping me. If you're organizing a meetup, I'll be happy to go there and help you with equipment. I have all this advanced setup. Thank you, guys.
Okay, you use it for remote extreme air programming.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about doing that. Yeah.
I never heard of Twitch. Twitch
Yeah.
But I actually do it actively there on Twitch.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
There will be live people right now.
Nice.
I'm co-organizing the boot camp in Leuven or Ghent every year. And now we record the videos, but it would be nice to stream them as well. So I'll be probably poking you when we're doing that again.
Try it out. I think it's definitely worth it. I mean, people are going to